Do you want to get started in ClickUp? Good, it's a great software. But sometimes when starting a new software, it can be difficult. That's what this video is going to help you with. Jumping right in, I see here a few different plans that you can choose from for yourself or your team with ClickUp. And I think that free forever is great for personal use, but actually if you want to get the most out of the software, I would recommend always going with the cheap pro plan for softwares like these. And having unlimited of everything is extremely useful. At first, you can try out the free plan and see how you like it. And then if you need more, move up to the unlimited plan. But the unlimited plan definitely has some perks to it. So jumping right into ClickUp, when I get here, you'll see that there is a home view that works really well with a Google Calendar sync, which I'm going to show you how to use in this video. But essentially, if you want to get started, I would recommend going immediately to the bottom left and going to Click Apps and making sure a couple of these things are enabled. I would have automation enabled, collaborative editing, custom fields, dashboards, a dependency warning, Office 365 is nice, relationships, tags, time estimates, and even time tracking for those people who want to use that. So at first, what you need to understand about ClickUp is that it is a setup where a bunch of different spaces have lists within them that are databases of tasks. And then there are dashboards and documents, which are separate from that. So if we press a new space and we look at the templates here, we can see that there are a lot of different options to get you started. So let's say we're just trying to look for something very simple like project management. We can click on this one and you can see that it is going to have a template with some click apps included, some view types included, and this is going to be very basic. So if I use this template and say project management, it'll show you a lot of the different things within this immediately. So once the space is created, see that there's a folder that has a bunch of different views within it. If you notice on this plus icon right here, you can create folders, lists, documents, and more within spaces. Like I could put a document within here. So this document's a part of this space. I could add a new folder. That could be a documents folder. That could go within this space. But something to note is that each folder is required to have a list view within it. So if I try to move this guy out of here, it will not let me do it. So going within here, you can see that a list view is pretty simple and is just a long ways view with a bunch of different properties showing. And really quickly, just to get into some of the basics of properties, since that properties ClickUp was enabled, you can add or edit fields. So the different properties that you have, if you press new custom field, you have drop down, which is a select one where basically you can select one out of a bunch of different options. You can already see that we have one with the done, not started in progress one or revision one. And then some more of those would be rating. So you can start, money, formula, text area, number, labels, and all of these are really solid and similar to that of a bunch of different applications like Notion. And in order to manipulate these different ones, you can do it within a task or on the list view. Now, how you can see these different things in a list view or a table view and whatnot is you go to this right here, which is the show area, and you can choose to pick between different columns, and you can show/hide. As you can see, if I untick these or retick these, it'll change what's showing in the different columns. And you can even add things like task locations to show the breadcrumbs, show closed tasks, or untick show closed tasks. Same with subtasks, and the same with empty statuses. If I enable empty statuses, then it'll show what is not there. So there was a bunch of stuff that could have been shown but wasn't. And then you have the option to group views by different properties. So this is currently grouped by status, but we could group it by something like priority, or we could group it by due date. And then from there, you also have the option to filter from the different properties with a bunch of different options as well. It's even cool that you can take something that you filtered in other views and save the filter as a template so that you can easily transfer it as well. For sorting, if you want to sort by a specific one, you just need to press on that in the column and press sort. And you can press sort entire column as well, but if you press sort here, it'll sort it by priority. So urgent is going to be highest, or you press it again and it will take the inverse of that and the lowest priority will be sorted, or you can click on it again, clear sort, save the order. And then there's another way to hide columns by going here and clicking on it and hiding them. And there's another way to add columns by pressing here and adding them. Now regarding the different views, you've seen the list view, but what other views do we have? We have a board view, which is a Kanban view that is actually pretty simple to work through. I think some of the main ones you want to focus on are the list view, table view, board view, and calendar view. So this kind of puts it in a sense where it's grouped by status. So you would drag these across as you complete them, which is a really classic thing for project management. You could even have a document related to it. Say you go into this document, you can relate this to a task. So with that relationships, I think it was good that we go back to that write at knowledge base. So there's a relationship now between this write at knowledge base and that document. So then on the end of the document, you can go back and forth between this. So you have a more easy to see document that is good to associate with projects. If you're using a task in ClickUp for a project, I would recommend pairing it with a document because of the ability for it to have better documentation than just this little space here. Now, something to note is that folders are going to have their own set of views and lists are going to have their own set of views as well. And lists are these little guys with this bullet mark here, and folders are obviously the one that looks like folders. So looking at a couple other ones of these, we have a table view, which is very similar to the other ones that we showed earlier in that it's just like the list view, but has literally gridded out as a table, and you can group it in the same way. And then the calendar view allows you to do a few things. You can see things like your Google Calendar. You can see your tasks on this so that you can see the historical side of things. And then some of the other options you have are the box view, which is a unlimited feature, a timeline view, which is good for projects and different steps of projects, a Gantt chart, which plans time, manage resources, and visualize dependencies and more. And then you have activity, which is an aggregated view of activity across a location, a map view, which helps you visualize different tasks and how they're tied together, a whiteboard, which you get a few of them when you are on the free plan that lets you brainstorm ideas. And then there are forums that you can have on the unlimited plan. There's a chat section you can add to ClickUp. And going back to this calendar view, there's some integrations that you can add. If you go to the bottom left here and see integrations, it's very common for the cloud storages to be on these kind of things. There's time tracking you can integrate with Toggle, Integromat, which is an automation company, email, where you can send email to anyone outside of ClickUp. So I can sign into my email here, and you can use this 100 times on the free plan before you need to upgrade to the unlimited plan for it to keep working. And one of my favorite integrations is the Google Calendar one. So if we go here and press show and go to sync with calendar, it'll then ask you to sync your different calendar accounts with ClickUp. And what I've chosen to do is sync the two Google calendars that I have, but you could also add Apple or Outlook. And due to that, you can see I have the different time blocks showcase here. Now, a really nice application of this sync, if you go to your home view in ClickUp, one of the best use cases of this is that you can add these different calendars right here. And it works as a nice time blocking view right next to what you have to do for the day. So right here, I'd be able to add important tasks here, see what's overdue, what's up next, what's unscheduled in my different tasks, see what comments are there, what I've done, what I've delegated, and have my time blocking right next to it. Now, something I'd recommend that is an extra to this whole intro tutorial is that you should really turn off notifications. So if we go to the bottom left here, press notifications, I would recommend that you untick all of the notifications possible. Now, you can do it in your personal workspace. You can change the settings, but I really recommend you muting all these because you can get a lot of different notifications when you're working within this software, and there's not much point to have them continuously send you emails. I would especially just get rid of the email side of things. I have those unticked because they're extremely consistent, and that's a good thing for those who want it, but to be blunt, I don't know why you would. So I'd recommend turning off notifications. And then I would recommend you check out this video, see how you can improve your productivity even more.